This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone. Hi, can you hear me? Hello, please confirm in the chat box.
Unable to see. Font is changed.
No, I just shared the notepad and there is nothing. But can you hear me? Yes, okay.
Yes, able to hear me.
Thanks. All right. So we were discussing about the variables, right? If I'm not wrong. So yesterday we discussed about the rules or the conventions to follow to define a variable in Python, right? That's what we have seen yesterday, right? And following to that, assignments. I have asked you to write a program to swap two numbers. I'm not wrong again. To swap two numbers. Anybody does this? Okay. Okay. So before that, so let's solve this problem. Let us solve this problem. And before that, let me show you a few more things regarding the initializations or declarations, variable declarations in Python. Okay. So we understand about the rules to follow. We understand the rules to follow. Now we are going to understand the initializations. X equal to 10. Yeah, I can do this, right? Y equal to 20. I can do this. So what is the X value? 10. What is the Y value? 20. So now I wanted to initialize X value as 10 and Y value as 20 in the same line, in a single line. So can we do that? Can we do that? So that is where you just make a note of it. So this is not possible. So this is a syntactical error. Okay, you cannot do that in Python. So variable assignment. Okay, so we can say assignment, assigning a value 20 to a variable, assigning a value 10 to a variable X, and we are doing multiple variable initializations, okay, or assignments in a single line, which is not possible, in this way. Okay, so now what I do is I'll try in a different way. X equal to X comma Y is equal to 10 comma 20. Can I do this? So now I'm trying to assign this 10 value to the X and 20 value to Y. So I'm planning to assign this, so 10 value to X and 20 value 20 to Y. So here I have two variables in the left hand side and I have two values in the right hand side, right? So these two values can be assigned to these two variables. So there is a respectively, right? So it looks like okay, right? See that. So I have two variables here and I have two values. So can this be possible in Python? Yes, it is possible in Python. So you can do that. Yes. What is the X value? 10. What is the Y value? 20. Okay. So this this is absolutely fine. Okay. So this is absolutely fine. But the other way, so this is not possible in Python. So the assignment of this is fine. Okay. So this is fine. And can I do this value initialization like this? X value is 10 and Y value is also 10. Now what I'm planning is I just wanted to, as my both X and Y variables hold the same number 10. So while initializing, I thought of initializing them like this: X equal to Y equal to 10. So can I do that? Of course, assume that I have another variable Z. So Z equal to also 10. So can I do this? Meaning that so multiple variables holds the same value. In such case, can I assign all the variables in this way? X, Y, Z all equal to 10. Yes, absolutely, I can do that. X value is 10, Y value is 10, and of course Z value is also 10. So this is absolutely possible in Python. So this kind of initialization is also possible. Okay, so this is a valid. Okay, so this is a valid scenario, and this is also valid assignment. Okay, so this is not valid, this is not valid. So you understand, guys? Okay, so fine. Now what I do is I'll just try to swap the two numbers. Okay, this is what initialization. You can just play around this. Okay, if you have any questions, you can ping me in the chat box about the initialization. This initialization, multiple variable initialization in a single line. Okay, so this is what I can keep adding something like multiple variable assignment in a single line. Okay, so these are the possibilities that we have verified. Okay, then we're trying to write a program to swap two numbers. So swapping two numbers, what does it mean? So I have two numbers, guys. I have two numbers in two boxes or two containers. Okay, so I have a x value here, which is value 10, and I have a y value 20. Okay, so these are my two cells in the memory, and this is referred by x, and this is referring by y. Okay, so now I wanted to get this 20 into this, and I wanted to get this 10 into this box. That is what swapping, right? So this is what swapping. So I wanted to swap these two numbers. How can I do that? How can I do that? The swap program. So x value 10 I'm saying, y value 20. Okay. Now if I print x value, okay, if I print x value, then it is going to print x is equal to, okay, so comma x value. I'll tell you about the print function. My value is equal to y. So this are before swap. I'll just add one statement here. Print before swap. Okay. Or I'll say x comma y values before swap. Make sense? Okay. So when we execute this code, so it will print, okay, the x value, y values, the x values and y values. Okay, so we are comfortable with PyCharm, right? So let me guys, so we have if I'm not wrong, we have executed a program in Python, right? We have executed a program in Python. Let me open okay. Let me create a new one. Okay, I'm creating a new project in PyCharm. Okay. Okay, so I will say core programming, core Python. Okay, I'll just say core Python. So this interpreter, what it is using, let it use it. So new window. So okay, so go to settings. So let me change my Python interpreter version. I have used multiple Python versions, guys, nothing else. And out of it, I have removed some Python versions. So that was referring a removed version. That is the reason it is failing. Yeah, so it has all the tools. So I'm using this. Now I'm creating a new file here. Swap two numbers. Okay, swap two numbers is my program name. I'm just moving that piece of code, whatever we have written in the notepad. So I can run this program, right? How can I run this, guys? So right click on this area, right click, and just so you see an option called run your program name. So click on that. So here in the bottom, you would see the output x comma y values before swap, x equal to 10 and y equal to 20, right? So you observe here, okay, you observe here x value in the print. This is a function, this is called a function, okay, this is print function, predefined function. The function we did not write, this is existing one as part of Python library, okay. And always when I say function, okay, function takes different values, guys, different arguments, you can say different parameters, you can say. We'll talk more about functions going forward in further classes. For now you just understand. So function will be having something like this brackets. So here you will be having function name, okay. So here in our case the function name is what? Print function, right? So in our case the function name is what? Print function. So the print function takes the parameters as a comma separated values. You can give how many values you wanted to pass, you can pass it. So there is no limit with the comma separate, with the comma separation. With the comma separation you can pass any number of values. So here you can see this is one argument and this is another argument, okay. So if you look at this is we have added this within double quotes, guys, within double quotes, okay. So whatever I am adding, whatever I'm writing inside this double quotes, okay, that will print as it is on the console, that will print as it is on the console, meaning that what I have written x is equal, right? So that x is equal prints as it is, and y is equal, that prints as it is. So whatever you are giving inside double quotes, that will go to the console as it is without any changes. And here whatever the values you are doing here, x value and y value, okay, x value, y value, these are the variables, these are the variables, okay. So the variables which we are defined above, so those variable values are going to replace in the execution time. So what is the value of x? Value of x is 10. What is the value of y? It is 20. Okay, so that's how the print statement works. Is that clear? Is that clear for everyone? Print function can take any number of arguments with the comma separation. Point number one. Print function can take any number of arguments with the comma separation. Point number two. So inside print function, if you give any parameter using double quotes, so whatever you added inside the double quote will send as it is to the console and it will print as it is. And the other things are like variables. Point number three, if you are given any variables, the variables are going to get the actual value associated to that variable and will print that value to the console. These are the 3 points that you have to make a note of it, right? So any questions, any doubts around this? Okay, so no questions, good. Then now I'm going to continue this to swap the elements. Now what is my requirement? I just need to change my values. So I'm printing the same stuff here after swap. Okay, now I need to swap the elements. I need to swap the elements. So how can I do that? X comma y is equal. Can I do something like this? 20 comma 10. So it is a valid initialization in Python, right? So the 20 will be assigned to X and 10 will be assigned to Y. So that is what actually we are looking for, right? So, but if I give 20 comma 10, that is not actual swapping. We should not assign like this. So we wanted to get whatever the value associated to Y, that I wanted to get into X. Meaning that, so here I need to give Y, and here instead of 10 I wanted to give X. So what I'm trying actually, so let us see if it works or if it doesn't work. So I'm just trying to keep my Y value into X, my Y value into X, and I'm trying to keep my X value into Y. So you understand? That is what we are doing. We are just swapping with the help of initialization facility that we have. Okay, multiple variable initialization in a single line. Okay, so let us see. We just did a single line change. Okay, this is what the whole logic around this to swap it. Okay, so let us run it and see. So from the next time onwards, right, you can just click on this play button. Okay, you can just click on this play button, so that will execute it again. So now see that it works or not. X value, X and Y values before swap 10 and 20, X comma Y values after swap, these are 20 and 10. See that how much simple it is. Just a simple line. To swap two numbers in Python, it is very much simple. Guys, we understand the variable concept, how to initialize the variable, how to initialize multiple variables in a single line. Then we understand how to swap two numbers. This is a interview program. Okay, so this is important interview program, a basic program, very simple program. Okay, you just need to uh, understand this particular line, that's it. And other stuff is just printing logic. So printing logic, this is initialization logic. So we call this as initialization. We call this as what? Initialization. We are initializing the variables. We are initializing the variables X and Y. So this is what print logic. This is what print logic. And this is actual swap logic. Okay, so then this is again a print logic. So you understand the importance of comments now. If someone comes back to here and see, okay, they will understand by looking at this comment. Oh, so this guy is trying to initialize some values here, some variables here, and he's printing that again. So here he's trying, what he's trying to do, he's trying to swap. So by looking at this, will simply the other developer will understand. So then just we are printing it. Guys, are you followed? I just pasted in the chat box, so you can give it a try. If you want, you can give it a try. Okay. Any questions around this still? No, that Jilani, so that won't be the case. So there is a question from Jilani. So he's saying that, sir, can we directly write this X comma Y? So this is a print logic, but where is your swap logic? So if you do like this, it is just going to print. It is going to just print a Y value, but when you look at, when you look at the output, it seems it's swapping, but actually not. You just manipulate it to print the Y value to X, but if you, so the actual logic, right, after that you have to print the values. Basically after this, if I print X value, what it is going to print? After that, if I print Y, what it is going to print? Because you did not swap. So if I print after these two lines, if I print my X value, still it will be 10, still it will be 20. So that is not the case, that is wrong. So if you give that answer in the interview room, so you will be deselected, so you will not be selected. Okay, so that is absolutely wrong. Okay, so there is no function, predefined function, as I know, to swap two numbers, because there is no point of giving again a swap function. It's straightforward and it's a single line, so there is no point of writing another predefined function. Okay. Yes, I will tell you the important interview questions as well as programs. Okay, that's what I just started with, the basic program, swap program. You give this program, so it's simple logic. Okay, and try to understand. I'll give you more programs, guys, don't worry. Okay, so let's go one by one. Then let's work with data types. Okay, so data types example. Okay, so we have different data types, guys. So what is the data type? Now first you have to understand the data type. Okay, first you have to understand the data type. So what does it mean? So the name itself is saying, right, so the name itself is saying. So I'm writing this triple quote in the sense, what, this is a multi-line comment, I can write whatever I want. So here I'm writing about the data types. Okay, data type. So it's very clear that, right, data and type. So it's going to deal with the type of the data that we are working. Okay, So if you go to any website, right? If you go to any website, okay, so maybe your Gmail or Facebook or any other thing, okay, so any other website, okay, so it will be asking for registration or something, okay, so create account. If you see, anything is fine, okay, so here it will be asking first name, last name, right, the Gmail. Then if you come down, so if you go to the next, maybe it will ask you for phone number, right? It will ask you for phone number, it will ask you for maybe upload your photo if you want, right? So there will be different kind of um, input that we are going to provide, right, to register yourself or go to Facebook, right? So wherever you go, so you see different kind of data, right? So there you would be seeing, right? So number, say it may ask age, right? So you'll be giving 30, 40 or 20, like depends on your age. So you'll be giving some number, right? So here age will be some kind of number, right? So you'll be giving your phone number, right? Your phone number, even this is also kind of number, right? So this is also kind of number. And it will ask for date of birth, okay, date of birth. So it's definitely not a number, right? Date of birth in the sense it in a particular format, so it should be in date format, so that is of type date, that is of type date. And you will be uploading your photo, so photo is of type different, right? This is what image, right? So when you are working, so when you are working in a real-time applications, you will be dealing with a different kind of data. You will be dealing with a different kind of data. So we should understand that how to play with the different kind of data, and that's where the data types introduced. Okay, so what is the type of the data that you are working with, that you should understand. So what are the different data types that we have in Python? That's we are going to work with, right? That's we are going to work with. So data types in Python. So first thing is, so data type is what? It describes the type of the data, okay, being stored in a variable, okay, in a variable. Simple, you can define your own way, like what is the data type? A data type is a type of the data being stored in a particular variable. Okay, when I say x equal to 10, so now my x is a variable, and what is the value stored inside that? 10. So what is the type of 10? This is a number, right? So when a number, so in programming languages we represent that as a integer. Okay, so this is going to be integer, x equal to 10. So this is a simple declaration, variable declaration. So it has two parts. Okay, so one is this, and the other one is this. Okay, this is a variable. Okay, this is variable, and this is value. This is value. So now we are going to talk about the value. So we already discussed about the variable, we are done with that. Now we have moved to understand more about this value. So this value can be 10, this value can be 10.5, 10.5, or 20.3, or maybe some group of characters or a single character. So the value can be different. So there are different possibilities to have this value giving to variable x, right? So that's what we are going to understand. That's what we are going to understand. So x equal to 10 is. So I wanted to know what is the type of this particular x, variable x. So now I'm going to print that type of variable x, nothing but, so nothing but the type of the data that's stored in the variable x. Type of the data, let me type more clearly. So type of the data stored, okay, in variable x. Make sense, guys? So this goes to the console as it is, right? Because I am keeping inside double quotation. Okay, now I wanted to know what type of it. So for that, so Python itself, they have given a predefined function, guys. Predefined, when I say function, okay, so make a note of it. Make a note of it. So when I say function, it's a kind of some processing unit. It's a kind of some processing unit. Okay, so if you give some input to that, if you give some input to that function, okay, it will do something, some processing for you. Okay, it will processing for you something and gives some output, gives some output. Okay, it gives some output. So take any example, right? Something like flour mill or something like. So if you give rice, okay, if you give rice to that flour mill, okay, so it is going to give you that flour, right? Rice flour, right? So I don't know the exact spelling is, don't worry about that. So rice flour. So what is this? This is like a mill kind of thing. So processing unit. Okay. So if you input rice, so it's going to give you rice flour. If you input wheat, it is going to give you that wheat flour, right? So what this is doing, it is processing it, right? It is processing it. So even in programming language also, when you say function, it's a kind of processing unit where it takes some input, okay, and it does something and it gives some output. So input and output. So so as part of Python, okay, so when you install Python, there are many functions which are available already, and you just need to make use of it. Okay, you don't have to prepare it, you don't have to prepare this mill. So the mill is already available, just give the rice, so it will process and it will give the flour. Okay, so here in a similar way, there are there are predefined functions which are available already, you just need to use them. So here, to know, okay, to know the type of, okay, to know the type of the value, okay, value stored in a variable. So we are going to use a function called, type function, and you give your variable name as input. Okay, to know is a function type of variable name to know the type of the value stored in the variable. Make sense, guys? So what is the function I'm saying? Type function, type, and you give your variable name. What is the variable name here? X. Okay, so type. This is going to give me the type of my 10, the data. That is what the data, right? So run it and see what is the type of it, guys. So this is going to be integer. So this is going to be integer because I said number. So all the numbers in programming languages are going to consider as integers. Okay. So that is what we can identify. You can get to know. Second, guys. Sorry. So you will get to know. What kind of type it is, right? Right. So you will get to know what kind of type it is. So like that, now you can play with the different kind of data. So let me say 10.5. Okay, 10.5. Now let me say print of x. Okay, so I will share these notes, don't worry, so that we'll understand better. So here, let me keep some y value here. So what is the type of this, guys? 10.5. So when I say 10.5, so this is a floating point, right? This is a floating point. So decimal values, that has decimal values, and you can see type of the data stored in variable y is 10.5. Okay, I did not print that, right? So this is the value of y. Okay, value of y, and value of y is equal, I'm giving y value here, guys, and then I would like to print the type of y. Okay, type of y, just to make more, to give more clarity. Okay, tomorrow if you want to come back and see the program, you should be able to understand. Okay, so print type of data stored in variable y. Okay, so this initialization of my variable, then I'm printing the type of the data stored in variable y. Okay, or value of y. simply this is fine. Okay, value of y is the value 10.5 and the type of y here I'm going to get. So type of data in variable y is this. Okay, makes sense. So I'm going to repeat these lines now. Okay, see that what is the type of it, guys? It is a floating point value. It is a floating point value. We have integer, we have floating point value. Like that, we have different kind of types. We have different kind of basic types. Okay, I'm copying, simply I'm copying these guys. Okay, so we have floating point value, we have integer value, and we have string value. So these are group of characters, right? This is about group of characters. Let me say s. S is my variable name, so you can give any name instead of s. You can give any name if you want. So this is what, yes. Okay, so this is going to give a string. So because it's a group of characters are going to represent, okay, group of characters are going to represent as a string. Okay, so that is a string, that is known as a string. So here I'm giving a boolean value, guys. So true or false. So the possible values for boolean, yesterday we have seen the keywords, right? True and false are the values, basically those are the values of type of boolean. Okay, so value of b is true comes here, and the type of the data in variable b is type of b, which is going to be a boolean. Okay, which is going to be a boolean. And here what else I have is I have something called complex type, guys. So it's like a different thing for you. So you had to go back to your college days or school days where you see this kind of expressions, complex expressions. Okay, this is of type complex. This is of type complex. So where one is going to be a real number and the two is going to be a imaginary number. So these will be used in scientific calculations, guys. So don't worry for now. Okay, so don't worry for now. Just remember that we have a special type called complex type. So you don't see this type in other programming languages. Maybe in your C language or Java or something else, you don't find this data type, guys. So what I did, what I have done here, I just okay, prepared different kind of data and I just printed it, nothing else. Just copy paste. See the outputs here now. The first one, the type of data stored in variable x integer, then after, so I have taken a value of y. What is that value? 10.5. And what is the type of this 10.5? It is a floating point. And then I have taken a string. Okay, so this I need to modify. This is s. Okay, right. So see that. So value of y, rerun, value of s equal to hello, and this is of type what? String type. This is of type string, and value of b is what? True. And what is the type? Data type? Bool. Okay, it is a boolean type. It is a boolean type. And 1 plus 2j, this is of type complex type. This is of type complex. So we have different kind of data. Depends on our requirement. Depends on our requirement. We are going to play with this. We are going to play with this. So what are the data types we have seen? Yes, now integer we have seen, floating point, string, bool, and complex. So these are the data types we just see. Are you comfortable? Are you clear so far, or do you have any questions? Let me know. Any questions? Do you have any questions, guys? These are the basic data types. Okay, so these are the basic or fundamental data types. Okay, so we have some advanced data types, guys. We have some advanced data types in Python. Okay, so we have some advanced data types along with these data types, guys. These are the basic data types, and as part of this we have something called a range. Okay, we have something called range data type. Okay, and we have byte data type. Okay, we have bytes. Okay, byte array we have. Okay, byte array. We have none data type, guys. So some advanced data types. Okay, so range, byte array, none type. This is none type, and we have yeah, okay, advanced data types. Now apart from that, we have some special data types. Okay, you can say these are collections, yes. You can say, or you also can say data structures. We also say data structures. We also say data structures. So where that is not a single element, so that is going to occupy a group of elements. Okay, that's going to be a group of elements, and that group of elements. Okay, so that group of elements are going to organize using different types due to its advantages. Okay, facilities that provide. So we have a list type, we have a tuple type, and we have a set. We have something called frozen set, and we have a dictionary. So these are the special data types. Okay, these are the special data types, okay, that we have in Python. So these data types are there to organize the data, different kind of data all together, a group of elements all together. So I have a collection of pens. Okay, I have a collection of pencils. I have a group of students. I have a group of employees. So basically, it talks, these data types deals with the groups. Okay, group of things. It can be anything, any of this group of integers, group of strings. Okay, a combination of string and integer. Okay, combination of different things. So that's how these data types are going to play. We'll go with one by one. And however, we have some advanced data types as well, guys. So range, byte array, nut type, something like that. Okay, understand? Right. So now you understand about the string. We make a note of it, guys. Maybe in the interview room you may get that. So do we have char data type in Python? No, we don't have any char data type. If you have a single character to represent, you just need to use like this. So male or female. So this, what is the type of this? The type of ch is also a string. This is also a string. So because, okay, we don't have a char type even for single character also, considered as a string. Okay, so that is the point. Okay, so if you want to follow the same, just use that value of ch is, it's m, it will be m, and you can see the output. Okay, so what is the type, guys? It's still string. Okay, remember that, make a note of it in the interview room, so don't get confused. So if you ask the question like, okay, tell me about the data types, so you should answer perfectly, guys. So this is a well prepared document, well defined. It is the program itself is self-explanatory. So just go through the program, you will be familiar with this, and I'm sure that you can answer. Okay, so Balaji, array is like that comes as part of NumPy library. The data science, we have array concept. So at basic level, as part of basic data types, we have all these are like going to handle a group of elements or set of elements. We call it as a collections, not actually array. If you want to deal with the arrays, yeah, we should understand the NumPy library. Okay, there we have arrays concept, two-dimensional array or multi-dimensional array. So those arrays are like more stronger in Python. Okay, when you compare with your other languages. Okay, so more robust. So we had enough support to work with arrays. Those arrays are used for scientific calculations. So they will be more helpful in data science applications, solving in data science problems. Yeah. Now these are the data types that we have, guys. Let us understand one by one. Let us understand the data structures. Okay, these data structures list. So what about the list? So the list is going to be a, okay, so it represents, okay, represents group of elements, okay, and we can use square bracket, okay, to prepare a list, to declare a list. Is that make sense, guys? The point makes sense. Tuple also represents the same, guys. It is also represents what? Group of elements only. We can use this bracket to declare it. Following, okay, and of course set also represents group of elements. So we can use this flower bracket to declare it. Okay, we can use that. Then we have frozen set. Okay, so this is also a set, guys, but there is a small difference between set and frozen set. So this also represents what? Group of elements. I'll tell you the differences of one with another. Same thing, exactly same. And dictionary also like so. However, the list, tuple, set, frozen set, these are going to differ from the dictionary, guys. Dictionary is completely different. Okay, so dictionary is completely different, where you can represent the data, represents the elements or whatever elements or objects. Basically, you can use this term, objects term, represents elements as a key value pairs, like your telephone dictionary. We don't have now all those telephone directories and all, but earlier what? So we'll be having landline. We used to have landline, and along with that, when during the installation, right, we used to get one book also, the telephone directory. So there we can find the phone number and names and phone numbers, right? So your English dictionary, how the English dictionary will be like. So your English word and the meaning, Telugu meaning, right? So our English to English, English to Telugu. So the dictionary shows that like it's a key value base, right? So even in programming language also, here the dictionary is going to represent as a key value pair combination. Okay, key value pair, and we can use same flower bracket to declare it. Is that make sense and clear? Are you guys clear till now? Do you have any questions? Okay, so if you look at the differences, right? So list and tuple, this is mutable, guys. This is mutable and this is immutable. Okay, and again set is mutable and frozen set is immutable. Okay, so that is what these are going to differ. Okay, these are going to differ. So this is mutable, immutable, and this is index based. Okay, I will tell you guys what are these. Okay, this is index based and this is hash based. This is hash based. Of course, this is also hash based. Then what is the difference? The set is a mutable and frozen set is immutable. So dictionary is altogether, it's a complete story. So there is no comparison with that. So here we'll discuss about the keys. Keys are immutable. Keys are immutable. Values can be anything. Okay, values can be anything. Keys are immutable. Okay, so any confusion with this, guys? So we can use this square bracket to know what kind of type it is. We can use this this bracket to know what kind of to initialize a tuple, and we can use this bracket to initialize set. If you observe set, frozen set, and dictionary, all are using same bracket, right? Then how it is going to differentiate? Okay, see that. Now let's understand about that. So I'm going to print. I'm going to have one print statement. So here I'll keep some print because this goes as it is, right? So I'll say data structures. These are also data types considered as data types, data structures, but collections. Okay. So here I'm doing, okay, so I'm defining a list of, so here using, I don't have any elements, right? Okay, let me keep some elements here. Group of elements. When I say group of elements, so this now type of L, just print type of L, guys. Type of L. Okay, just to print that. Okay, so in the similar way I can define this tuple. So this is what tuple of 1 2 3 4. So now you can just print what type of T. Okay, type of T. I'm printing directly here. Okay, earlier we have printed this in a separate line. Now I'm combining these two print statements into a single print of L. Then I'm printing this. Oh, we are printing this. I'm missing this one. Okay, so if you want to print that, yes, you can print that. So print T. Okay, I'm just printing list and tuple. Just see. Run this now. See, this is of type what? List type, and this is of type what? Tuple. And you can see the output as it is, how you declared. Okay, so this is mutable and the other one is not mutable, right? Mutable in the sense you can change its values, guys. You can change its values. Immutable means you cannot change it. Okay, you cannot change it. So meaning that, so this is a list, right? I wanted to change my list of this one 2 I have, right? Instead of 2 I wanted to give 20. So that is possible, but the same thing if I try to do it here, T of 1 is equal to 100. So this is not going to be work. So I will tell you guys, so this is the way of accessing the list elements or tuple elements. Okay, this is the way of accessing it. So I will talk about them more. During that we'll have a separate sessions for discussing these data structures. We'll spend enough time over there. Okay, so don't worry about that. So see here, okay, so what I'm doing here, T of 1 is equal to 100, and okay, so where it is printing, guys? So here see that, so T of 1, okay, T of 1 tuple object does not support item assignment. So boss, you cannot do this. That's what it is saying. So T of 1 is equal to 100 you are doing, so that is not possible, boss. That is not possible. It's clearly saying that item object does not support item assignment. You cannot assign that. So meaning that you cannot change it. Once you declare a tuple, so you are not allowed to modify it. You are not allowed to modify it in any manner. So that is what immutable. So this is not possible. Okay, so this is not possible, as it is immutable. Okay, anyhow, I'll give more clarity also. Don't worry about that. I need to spend enough time on this to make you understand in a better way, mutable and immutable. So don't worry about that for today. Okay, I will explain you. It is mutable and we can change. Okay, so for now, what is your understanding, guys? So mutable in the sense we can change it, immutable in the sense we cannot change it, we cannot modify. That is what you are understanding for today. Okay, I'll give you more details. Yeah, I would like to stop at this point for today, guys. Okay, let me know any questions if you have quickly.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Sir, here when you're taking it as a mutable and it is list, correct? So the only bracket is making difference to understand for the interpreter, because the only difference I can
Yes.
see is brackets.
Yes, yes, exactly. Only brackets. So only brackets. Yes, exactly. That's what I have specified in the description. So
Yes.
explicitly I have mentioned that. That is the reason I mentioned we can use this or we use this. not can. So we use it. That's a syntax from the Python, and Python interpreter understands that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Any other questions, guys?
Hi Venkat, Gopal here.
Yeah.
In swapping, I have one doubt. In x value is equal
Okay.
to 10, x value is equal to 10, y value is equal to 20, right?
Yes.
Now, in actual swapping logic is x comma y is equal to y comma x, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I will try. Can I try like this way? X is equal to y, and in below next line y is equal to x.
No, that is not going to work because you are modifying. So here, what happens? It happens in a single shot. That's how it will work. But if you try to do another way, right? X is equal to y and y equal to x. So this is not going to work, I believe. Did you try this?
Value again
Yes.
represents the same value, x.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes. This is yes, correct. So did you try this, Gopal? I
No.
think it doesn't work. You try it doesn't work, I'm sure. But yeah, you give it a try, it doesn't work. We'll talk about that. Like if you still have any confusion, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Already 9 o'clock.
Yeah, sure.
I need to jump into other session. Okay. Array can store multiple or single data types. Array is going to store the same similar data types, but this list tuple allows different kind of data types. So yeah, it doesn't work. So Saurabh is confirmed with that. Anyhow, you can give it a try. Yeah. So post your questions quickly. Actually, I would have stopped 5 minutes before. Okay. So please post your questions if you have any. If you're good, I'll be sharing these programs. So go through them again and go through the recorded session again if you have any confusions, and make it clear, boss. Because maybe for few sessions, we'll actively start with the programming, learn programming. So you have to clear about these things. Okay, you have to understand this. Next, we'll talk about the operators. Then we'll talk about the flow controls. Then we'll start more programming. Okay, so we need to make sure that you are understanding the basics. Okay, yeah. Okay, guys. Then if you are good, no questions. Yeah, we'll talk about this tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Sure. Bye bye. Talk to you tomorrow. Okay.